Have you ever felt the cold grip of fear tightening around your finances? The desperate urge to accumulate, to hoard, believing that a growing number in an account or a stack of bills under the mattress would somehow protect you from the unpredictable storms of life? I certainly did. And my journey, much like yours might be, was a winding path from that primal fear to a profound understanding of what true financial security really means. My story begins in a small town, a place much like any other, except for one persistent inconvenience: frequent power outages. Sometimes they lasted hours, sometimes an entire day, plunging homes into darkness, silencing the hum of refrigerators, and disconnecting us from the world. For most, it was an annoyance, a reason to light candles and play board games. For me, Liam, it was a source of growing anxiety. Each flicker, each sudden blackout, felt like a threat, a reminder of vulnerability. I imagined my food spoiling, my phone dying, my family left helpless in the dark. And so, a seed of an idea, born not of ambition but of fear, began to sprout. I needed a generator, a powerful, reliable machine that would banish the darkness and restore a sense of control. To buy one, I decided, I needed to save, and save I did. My savings plan was extreme, ordering on Obsessive. Every spare penny was diverted to a plain white envelope hidden beneath loose floorboards in my bedroom. I became a master of deprivation. The morning coffee shop treat? Gone. The occasional movie night with my wife, Sarah? A luxury we could no longer afford. Even the simple pleasure of a new book was sacrificed. Each decision was rationalized. It's for security, I'd tell myself, for peace of mind, and for a while, it worked. As the envelope grew thicker, as the crisp bills accumulated, I felt a deep, almost primal sense of satisfaction. A shield was being built, piece by precious piece, against the unpredictable chaos of life. I imagined the generator, humming steadily, a beacon of light in the darkest storm, and with each addition to my stash, I felt more secure, more protected. My fear, I believed, was slowly being conquered by my growing pile of cash. Then life, in its infinite wisdom, decided to teach me a lesson. It wasn't a power outage that struck, but something far more personal, far more devastating. My young son, Leo, suddenly fell ill. A high fever, a persistent cough, and then the doctor's grim diagnosis: a severe respiratory infection requiring immediate hospitalization and specialized medication. My carefully constructed world, built on the foundation of that money envelope, began to crumble. The medical bills mounted with terrifying speed. The specialized medication, the hospital stay, the consultations with specialists. Each expense chipped away at my precious savings. I watched in horror as the thick stack of bills in my envelope dwindled, each withdrawal a painful stab. The generator, once my ultimate goal, now seemed a distant, irrelevant dream. My security, that comforting weight of money, was evaporating before my eyes. It was during those long, sleepless nights in the hospital, watching over Leo, that the stark reality hit me. Hoarding money hadn't provided true security at all. It had merely provided an illusion. When real crisis struck, when the true unpredictable nature of life revealed itself, that static pile of cash was just that, a static pile. It wasn't growing. It wasn't protecting. It was simply being consumed. The fear I thought I had contained returned with a vengeance, amplified by the realization that my strategy was fundamentally flawed. My heart ached, not just for Leo, but for the misguided belief that had consumed so much of my energy and sacrifice. One afternoon, sitting alone on a park bench near the hospital, utterly dejected, I found myself talking to my neighbor, an elderly gentleman named Arthur, who had always struck me as remarkably calm and resourceful, even amidst our town's frequent blackouts. I poured out my heart, confessing my fear, my extreme saving, and the bitter disappointment of how quickly my security had vanished. Arthur listened patiently, his eyes wise and kind. When I finished, he paused and said, "Liam, money is like a seed. If you keep it locked away in a box, it will never grow. It will just sit there, a potential that is never realized. But if you plant it, nurture it, and use it wisely, it can blossom into something far greater, something that truly provides sustenance and security." His words struck me with the force of a revelation. Money wasn't just to be hidden away, a static defense against an uncertain future. It needed to be used, to be put into motion, to create value and return. It needed purpose beyond mere existence. That conversation was the turning point. I still had some money left, a fraction of what I had once hoarded, but enough to make a start. I changed my mindset. Instead of seeing money as something to cling to out of fear, I began to see it as a tool, a resource to be deployed with caution. Yes, but also with courage and purpose. My first step was small, but significant. I took a portion of my remaining savings, and instead of dreaming of a massive, expensive generator, I bought several high-quality rechargeable LED lamps and a few portable power banks for charging phones. It wasn't the grand solution I had once envisioned, but it was practical. When the next power outage hit, instead of sitting in the dark, I put a small sign outside my house: "Light and Charge Station." At first, I was nervous. Would anyone come? Would it even work? But people did come. Neighbors, grateful for a flicker of light, a charged phone to connect with loved ones. I charged a small nominal fee for each lamp rental or phone charge, just enough to cover my costs and make a tiny profit. It wasn't much, but it was a start. My small business, born from a shift in perspective, began to grow. I reinvested the profits, buying more lamps, more power banks, even a small, efficient battery pack to extend my charging capacity. Slowly, steadily, my little light and charge station became a beacon in our darkened neighborhood. It brought purpose to my days, a sense of contribution to my community. It brought hope, not just for me, but for others who relied on my service during blackouts. And crucially, it brought financial stability back to my family. But this time, it was a stability built on active engagement, not passive hoarding. I learned to face risks. Sometimes a lamp would break or a power bank would malfunction. These were small failures, but they taught me invaluable lessons. I learned to fix what was broken, to adapt, to keep moving forward. Each challenge was an opportunity to learn, to refine my service, to become more resilient. Eventually, with careful planning and continued reinvestment, I was able to purchase something truly transformative: a small solar panel system. It wasn't the industrial generator of my initial fear-driven dream, but something far better, far more sustainable. It provided a stable, reliable light source for my home and my business, day in and day out, independent of the grid. And with it came true peace of mind. I realized then that security wasn't about avoiding life's risks or hoarding resources in anticipation of them. It was about building something, however small, that could help you navigate those storms when they inevitably arrived. It was about using money not just to protect, but to create, to serve, to grow. My journey from fear to purpose taught me that true wealth isn't measured by how much you save, but by how wisely and courageously you use what you have to build a more resilient, purposeful, and sustainable life for yourself and for those around you. And that, I found, was the most profound security of all.